Hey guys, what is up? It is Captured in Words, and today I have a book haul to share with you. I recently went on vacation and explored all these different bookstores. There were so many books. And apparently my cat would like to join me. This video is sponsored by Wild North Creations. Wild North Creations is a Canadian Etsy store, and they sell original paintings and prints and decor. They're all Canadian inspired and all based around nature. I definitely recommend checking them out if you're at all interested in artwork. So they sent me something in this cute little packaging. They sent me a ton of awesome bookmarks. So this is actually an exclusive sneak peek at the line of bookmarks they're going to be coming out with on Friday. Now by the time I put this video up, it probably is around Friday. So if you want to order yourself some of these beautiful bookmarks, then I will leave a link to Wild North Creations down below. I actually don't own that many bookmarks, so this is so awesome. These are all so aesthetically pleasing, it's kind of hard to pick a favorite. I just love each and every one of them. Oh, and each one of them has their brand stamped on the back. That's so cool. They also sent me some really cool stickers. Actually, I think I'm going to put one of these inside of a book. I will leave a link down below if you want to check out their Etsy store and get your hands on some Canadian-inspired art. Because, of course, Canada is just so beautiful. Alright, so the first book is The Princess Bride by William Goldman. I've never read The Princess Bride book, but I've watched the movie, and I love the movie. If you haven't watched the movie, I highly recommend watching it. To give you, like, the bare essence of what this is, it's kind of like a spoof fairy tale, and it's just incredibly humorous, and it's just a really fun adventure. I'm really excited to read this book. Actually, I'm going to be reading this book in my Goodreads group this month, so if you want to join me and buddy read this book, then you can join my Goodreads group, which I put the link to down below. I also have to say that I love this cover. I've been looking for a good cover of The Princess Bride, and so far, when I've gone around stores, all I've seen is the movie cover, and I love the movie, but I don't like movie cover books. Next, I have A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. As you can see, I've already started reading it. I picked this up right before I finished the first book, and I love the first book, and this one, so far, has been really great. Cat, what are you doing? Calvin, I know you want to make a cameo, but please don't put your butt in the screen. Most of you already know what the series is about, but basically, a dude who can flip his coat inside out and travel to different Londons. That's it in a nutshell. Different worlds of London. There's like a red London, grey London, white London, and black London. Should definitely read it. It's good. Next, I have The Broken Hours by Jacqueline Baker. Honestly, I've never heard of this book before, but when I was in the bookstore, the cover kind of drew me in, and then when I read the back, it actually sounds really, really cool. So, this is a fictional book on the life of H.P. Lovecraft. This book takes place in 1936, and Lovecraft is basically broke, deathly ill, and he's living in this old creaky house, and he's basically on the verge of a nervous breakdown. However, before he has a nervous breakdown, he hires a personal assistant named Arthur Crandall, and that's the protagonist of this book. Crandall doesn't know anything about Lovecraft's writing, and he begins to figure out that there's some very mysterious things going on in the house. Very odd things. Kind of creepy things. For instance, there's a light that is always shining in Lovecraft's office that for some reason you can't see from the street. And Crandall eventually uncovers all these dark secrets. It sounds very suspenseful, and I want to read it. Oh, and this book, as well as The Princess Bride, I found on sale for like $5, so that was a really good deal. Next, I picked up Blood for Blood by Ryan Groudon. Now, this is the sequel to the book Wolf by Wolf. I bought this book because it was on sale for like $4 or $5, so that's why I got it. I'm still gonna have to read the first book before I read this one, but it sounds like a really interesting concept, the whole series. So it takes place in 1956, and Hitler and Imperial Japan have taken over. And in Tokyo, they host an annual motorcycle race where they race across the conjoined continents. And I think the prize at the end is that you get a special audience with Hitler or something, and I believe the main character is planning on assassinating Hitler. Next, I picked up Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. Now, I've kind of seen this book around. I know it's became a BBC TV show, and I'm definitely interested in watching that, but I would like to read the book first. All I know is that it takes place in the 19th century during the Napoleonic Wars, and I think these two characters are like magicians, and basically they end up fighting in the war against France. I don't really know, but this book is definitely a hefty beast, but I really want to conquer it. Next, I picked up The Silkworm by Robert Gilbert, also the author of a little series, HP, I don't know if you've heard of it, and also the author of The Cuckoo's Calling, which I haven't read, but that is the first book in the series. This is the second book. That's my phone. And I want to read The Cuckoo's Calling before reading this, so I don't really know what this is about. I know there's like an author that goes missing, and then his wife calls in a secret detective, but that's basically all I know. It sounds like a really cool mystery thriller. Yet again, another book I bought because it was on sale for $5 was another copy of The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. If you don't know, this is one of my favorite books of all time. So I picked up this extra copy at a used bookstore. This book doesn't seem like it was used at all. Like, I honestly think this is brand new. But I got it for like $5. And eventually, I wanted to do a giveaway with like a bunch of different copies of The Name of the Wind, a bunch of different giveaways, that is, so I would like to give this one away sometime. sometime in the future. I also picked up An Irish Country Village by Patrick Taylor. This I got at the same used bookstore as The Name of the Wind, but I've seen this series around, and for some reason, it's really gotten my interest. I love all things Irish and Scottish because that's my heritage, and just this picture and the artwork is just so peaceful. But I realize this one is the second book in the series, so I'm gonna have to pick up the first one before I read this one, and I don't really know what this series is about. Next, from the same used bookstore, I picked up The Castings Trilogy by Pamela Freeman. Pamela Freeman. This is obviously all 3 books in one, and guys, I have heard some really great things about this series. Now, these books are told by the perspective of 3 different protagonists, and in this world, the original inhabitants of the Elven Domain were pushed out of their territory, and now the very same Elven Domains is being ruled with an iron fist by these warlords, and then there's also some, strange elemental stuff going on in the woods that the warlords can't stop. I don't really know what it is, but I want to find out, and I want to read this series. So those are the books that I picked up when I was on vacation. Let me know if you've read any of them. I would love to hear your opinions. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'll leave the links down below, and I will see you in my next video. Subscribe.